Welcome to HSG. Today we're going to talk about how war often acted as a catalyst for technological advancement. World War II, the largest conflict in human history, also spurred the greatest technological progress, which its effect continue to influence us today. This technological progress led to some of the most important developments in the world, and we can glean several insights from it. Firstly, there was the development of jet aircraft. Since the Wright brothers invented the plane in 1903, aircraft had progressed significantly by World War II. However, during that era, planes were mainly piston engine aircraft or propeller-driven planes. These propeller-driven planes encountered a significant limitation. The speed of the propeller could not increase indefinitely. As the propeller blade spun, the speed at the tip was different from the speed at the center. Once the speed of the tip of the blades approached the speed of the sound, air resistance is extremely great, creating what is known as the sound barrier. Yet the speed at the base of the blades was still quite slow, leading to the risk of blade failure. This issue remains unresolved to this day. The pinnacle propeller-driven fighters is generally considered to be the American P-51 Mustang, which could reach speeds of up to 715 km per hour, similar to the cruising speed of modern jet airlines. The Germans developed a plane with two propellers, the Do-335, with one propeller pulling and the other pushing. However, its top speed was only around 850 km per hour. Further advances with propellers alone were limited. It was clear that jet engines were necessary. As early as the late 1920s, British Air Force instructor Frank Whittle proposed the idea of a jet engine, though few believed in it. It wasn't until 1935 that Whittle received support and developed the first jet engine. Meanwhile, the Germans made faster progress. In 1939, the Henkel Company had a successful world's first jet aircraft test flight, the HE-178. By 1941, the British also had a successful test flight of their first jet aircraft, and by 1944, the German Me-262 became the first practical jet fighter, startling the British and the Americans. Realizing the implication, the British quickly began to equip their forces with the Meteor jet fighter. However, this Meteor was more of a shooting star, with many design flaws and less mature than the Me-262. The Americans made slower progress, with only a few F-80 jets being produced just before the war ended, nicknamed the Shooting Star, and of even lower quality. These jets were mainly used to train bombers' crews and to study how to combat jet fighters. Overall, the impact of jet fighters on the war during World War II was minimal. However, those with foresight knew that the future of aviation was with jets. As soon as the war ended, the United States and the Soviet Union began to investigate German jet aircraft. The Soviets acquired many factories, blueprints, and laboratories, while the Americans gathered more scientists and engineers. 5 years later, over the skies of Korea, the two very similar in models and equally performance jets met, the American F-86 Sabre and the Soviet MiG-15. In the post-war peace period, there was time to fully absorb and develop these technological advancements, resulting in the creation of these two mature and highly effective aircraft. World War II marked the official beginning of the jet age in aviation. In 1949, the first jet airline, the British Comet, made its maiden flight, and jet aircraft became the dominant force in both military and civilian aviation, continuing to be so today.